How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Detroit Lions franchise here on Madden 22. My name is Football Fan Forever, and it's time for Week 3 as the Lions get ready to take on another difficult test in the Los Angeles Chargers. The season is yet young, but at this point the Lions have the number 32 ranked rushing defense in the league. Just 2 games in, we've given up over 400 yards on the ground, and I would very much like to see that change here today. We've got too much talent in the front 7 for us to be giving up that many yards to opposing running backs. Second-year linebacker DeAngelo Carmichael has similar feelings and wants to set the tone for this defense going forward. He's been a leader on this defense since he was drafted, and with another elite showing today, he could get superstar X-Factor development. We don't have any X-Factor players on our team, and just a handful of players with the superstar development trait. So it would be kind of fun to see him get that distinction here today. We'll see Los Angeles' defense first, though, as Chris Boswell gets us underway, kicking to a waiting Quan Sandridge. He'll take it from a couple yards deep in his own end zone and run into traffic around the 25-yard line. So that will bring out Bob Harrison and this Detroit Lions offense. It's been a rough start to the season for Harrison. He threw 4 interceptions last week and wasn't very accurate in Week 1. He'll try and right the ship here today against the likes of Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. On 1st and 10, it's DeAndre Swift getting the call, and he will go down on first contact around the 28-yard line. Gain of 4, that will make it 2nd and 6. Single high safety look for the Chargers. Harrison in the shotgun, and he is back to pass. Blitz is picked up, and the short throw to Darby will have first down yardage. Good effort there by Keegan Darby, dragging Dante Hightower ahead of the sticks. Now 2nd and 5, and it's Deshaun Peoples on the jet sweep, spinning ahead for about 6 yards. First down. Detroit approaching Chargers territory. Here's 2nd and 9 from their own 49-yard line. Hard count from Harrison. Nobody jumps. Pocket collapsing, but Harrison swings it over the middle. There is Christian Kirk for a gain of 24 down to the Chargers' 27. Just 2 catches for Kirk in the loss last week. We'll see if he gets more involved this week, as the Lions come out with 4 tight ends on the field, and there's not a lot of room for DeAndre Swift. Just 2 yards to make it 2nd and 8. 3 wide receivers in the formation on 2nd down. Harrison up the middle. It's a wide open T.J. Hawkinson. There is nobody within 10 yards of him. And it's about the easiest touchdown pass as you will ever see to cap off an 8-play, 75-yard Lions scoring drive. So 7-0 Detroit. Here comes Justin Herbert, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. He's also had a slower start to the regular season here. Just 3 touchdowns and 488 yards through 2 games. 1st and 10 from his own 25. Play action, and down goes Herbert. It's Dalton Logan with the sack for a loss of 10. Logan has replaced Trey Flowers as our starting right outside linebacker in our 3-4 set. And he makes another nice play for the Lions in this young season with the sack there on 1st down as the Chargers wave the white flag on 3rd down. Here George Towns with a stop behind the line of scrimmage for a very quick 3 and out on the Chargers' first drive. Keegan Darby's our punt returner this season from his own 32-yard line. He weaves to the right, approaching midfield, and he is wrapped up at last at the 48-yard line. Nice little 14-yard return there to give the Lions good field position for their 2nd drive. And his 2nd down handoff to DeAndre Swift goes nowhere. Just 6 yards on 4 carries there. It's a long 3rd down for Bob Harrison and this offense. 4 wide receivers on the field, single high safety look. Harrison deep drop, fires up the seam, and that is contested. A dangerous pass that Derwin James nearly came down with, and just as quickly, the Lions are punting the ball back. Here is Jack Fox from his own 35-yard line, angling this one towards the Chargers sideline, and it will take a very Detroit bounce out of bounds at the 5. Jack Fox does it again, and now the Lions with a chance to bottle up this Los Angeles offense. Eckler in the I formation, and he has a lane tackled by Will Harris after a gain of 9. He took 92 yards to the house last week, and he was maybe one broken tackle away from taking that 95 yards to the end zone. It's 2nd and 1, and they'll try Eckler out the left side, and again good blocking. Racing up the left sideline to the 32-yard line. He's off to a strong start here today as Los Angeles is out of the shadow of its own goalposts. There's finally room for Herbert to be in the shotgun. He will head to the air on 1st and 10. Mike Williams underneath the middle will have first down yardage to the 44. You can see that Fatu Melifonwu is going to be trailing Mike Williams in today's game, as Austin Eckler takes his one off the right tackle, breaking a couple of tackles and stumbling down for a gain of 1. That will lead to a 3rd and 8, and Herbert will empty the backfield. 5 wide for Herbert, 4-man rush throw over the middle, leading his man Keenan Allen up the field. It's another first down into Detroit territory. Ball on the 39-yard line for the 2nd down, just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, and there's Traquan Smith wrapped up by DeAngelo Carmichael. It's another Los Angeles first down. Going empty again one play later, Herbert on 2nd and 4. Fires short to the left side. It's Keenan Allen who redirects and maybe only has a couple yards as a result. 3rd and 3. Eckler in the game in the I formation. Play action for Herbert, who just gets it away. Conklin inside the 5, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 1. DeAngelo Carmichael is maybe a half step away from a game-changing sack there. Instead, it's 1st and goal. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Eckler getting the call, and he is wrapped up in the backfield. Deshaun Hand, the first one there. Georgetown's also in on the tackle. 2nd and goal from the 2. And this time, Los Angeles brings out their goal line formation. Eckler in the backfield trying the right side, and he is tackled again. Ifatu Melifonwu with authority at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal. We're into the 2nd quarter here. Herbert in the shotgun. He could throw for this, but Eckler gets the call, and George Towns meets him at the line of scrimmage. 4th and goal. And the Chargers will keep their offense on the field. Herbert going under center. Eckler has been stuffed 3 times already. He'll get the call, and he is hit and denied. Towns does it again with a huge hit, and this was really close. Eckler switches the ball to his right hand to try and reach across the plane, but his knee is down and the ball is not across the goal line there. So with 99.5 yards to go, the Lions take over. Jamal Williams with a gain of 5 to get them a little bit of breathing room, but right tackle Penei Sewell is shaken up, and he is leaving the game. And that's not a step they usually take unless this is a severe injury, one that will cause him to miss several games, as the Lions will lean on rookie right tackle Blake Culp to fill Penei Sewell's shoes. And there will be a trial by fire for the rookie here, as Sewell has suffered an abdominal tear. And how severe that injury will be is still unknown. We'll have more information at the end of the game. But for now, Blake Culp will be asked to block Joey Bosa, and he's getting some help from Hawkinson on this play as Harrison fires short. DeAndre Swift with a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Los Angeles will stack the box. They know they have the advantage with their pass rush here, and they'll bring a blitz on 2nd down, but Christian Kirk is left unguarded over the middle. It's a gain of 21 as Harrison finds his number 1 wide receiver once again. That's the 2nd time they've connected for 20-plus yards in today's game. 2nd and 3, and there's another catch for Christian Kirk. Working in front of Bryce Callahan there, Harrison goes over 100 yards on 7 of 9 passing with that throw. It's good to see Harrison slinging the ball well. After throwing 4 interceptions last week, his confidence is still there in his arm and in his wide receivers as Deshaun Peoples finds the hole in the zone coverage, first down to the 21. You'll also see the Lions giving right tackle Blake Cole plenty of help against Joey Bosa. Here's a 1st and 10, very next play, and a short throw to Hawkinson will make it goal to go Lions at the 9. And a lot of this drive happening through the air. Hairston, 1st and goal, handoff to Stevenson, and there is a flag on the play. I thought Hightower got a little bit of face mask there, but they will ding Quan Sandridge for a hold. That will back the Lions up to the 14. We'll try 1st and goal again. Same formation for the Lions. Hairston, end zone, touchdown! Quan Sandridge redeems himself with a difficult catch in traffic as Hairston threads the needle with that pass over the middle. It's a 14-0 game here in Los Angeles. Quan Sandridge getting between the safeties there, and a nice catch despite plenty of contact from the Chargers there. Blake called one-on-one against Bosa this time, and he handles the superstar edge rusher quite well. And it seems like Bosa might be getting a little bit frustrated here as there's some extra shoving after the throw. It's a 2-touchdown lead for the Lions with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Eckler off the left side. He is wrapped up by George Towns after a gain of 9. We saw Towns step up in a big way during the goal line stand earlier in the quarter as the Chargers have been running away from DeAngelo Carmichael and throwing away from him as well. There is completion number 9 for Justin Herbert to put the ball right around midfield. Now 2nd and 8. They will try the right side, and Towns is there with another big hit. We have 2 sideline-to-sideline defenders here in George Towns and DeAngelo Carmichael. Here's a 2nd and 10 pass attempt for Justin Herbert, and he will fire short. There is Mike Williams to the 36-yard line to set up a 3rd and 3. Safeties creeping up closer to the line of scrimmage. 4-man rush. Herbert to the right side, and Tyler Conklin, the former Viking, with an excellent catch in traffic to keep the drive alive. Already 4 catches for Conklin. Now 2nd and 5 as we approach the 2-minute warning. Herbert to the air with time, and he will fire to Traquan Smith down to the 11. 1st and 10. Time for one more play before the 2-minute warning. Herbert against the blitz, has time, fires to Tyler Conklin, and he falls out of bounds for a short gain. 14-0 Lions with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Chargers facing a 2nd and 6 from the 7. Herbert to the air, firing over the middle, and Eckler has it underneath for the touchdown. And that's another element to Austin Eckler's game. We've seen him have success on the ground, but where he really excels is as a receiving back. So that will make it 14-7. Bob Hairston with a chance to lead a 2-minute drill of his own. 1:50 on the clock. And the very quick throw to Deshaun Stevenson won't get much. Maybe 3 yards, and that will lead to a 3rd and 8. All 3 timeouts for the Chargers. Clock is stopped after an incomplete pass. Hairston to the air. Pressure incoming, firing for Kirk, and it's intercepted! It's Asante Samuel returning this inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. And if Hairston had put a little bit more arc on that pass, that could have been a touchdown. But instead, Asante Samuel makes a beautiful leaping interception, just corralling that with his fingertips to give the Chargers a chance to tie the game. Excellent field position here, all 3 timeouts, 1:16 on the clock. And Herbert will head to the air. Time for Herbert, firing to the end zone, and the Lions nearly took it back. But we can't make the easy play, and Los Angeles will reset here. They've used 1 timeout. It's 3rd and 3. Herbert back to pass. He's got time. There's Keenan Allen, and he drops the wide open pass. That could have been a touchdown, but the Chargers will have to settle for a field goal. And the Lions will get the ball back. Running the ball to drain the clock has gone better than expected. We're near midfield, and DeAndre Swift will take this one to the Los Angeles 47. And the Lions will take their second timeout to set up a 64-yard field goal attempt to end the half. Austin Seibert, 64 yards left hash. This one is short, and not by much. Maybe a yard or two closer, and we have a 7-point lead once again. But as it is, he misses the longest field goal attempt of his career, and the Lions will take a 14-10 lead into halftime. All three of the other NFC North teams have completed their games this week as the Bears win their rematch against the Vikings 35-20, while the Packers lose in a shootout to the Kansas City Chiefs 42-35 despite 163 yards on the ground from Aaron Jones. As for our games, at the halfway point the Lions hold a slight edge in most statistical categories thus far, but it is our defense's goal line stand that's making up the difference in this one-score game. We'll see our defense out first in the second half as the Chargers will start the third quarter with the football. Herbert will spread out the field on 2nd and 6, 5 wide against a 4-man rush, and that is nearly intercepted by DeAngelo Carmichael. Could have had our first takeaway of the day. Instead, it's 3rd and 6. Herbert to the air, short throw over the middle, and Taquan Smith hauls that one in, taking it to the 38-yard line for first down yardage. Los Angeles 4 of 7 on the day on their third down conversions. 1st and 10, Herbert will head to the air, and he is well protected. There's a wide open Keenan Allen sitting in front of Tracy Walker in zone coverage there. 1st and 10 to the Detroit 44. Eckler in the game on first down. He's to Herbert's right in the shotgun, and Eckler will get the call, cutting left, and he will have another Los Angeles first down, crossing 50 yards on the day on 11 carries. So the Chargers well within field goal distance here. 2nd and 4 from the 25. Herbert back to pass. He's got Conklin over the middle and inside the 10 down to the 9. It's goal to go Los Angeles as that dropped interception earlier is looming large over this drive. 1st and goal, Herbert protected, end zone, touchdown. It's Keenan Allen running a very nice route against Jeff Okudah for a 17-14 Los Angeles lead. And that was a surgical drive from Justin Herbert. He comprised the majority of their offense there, 6 of 7, 61 yards, and a score. As now the Lions play from behind for the first time all day. A second down handoff to Deshaun Stevenson won't get quite enough, so the Lions will come out with 2 tight ends and DeAndre Swift on 3rd and 1. Swift up the middle will have 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Our rushing attack hasn't exactly been consistent here today against a stout Chargers front, putting a lot of pressure on our passing offense to make up the difference as Hawkinson takes a big hit but manages to hold on. Detroit now inside Charger territory, 2nd and 7. Play action for Harrison, rolling to his left, extending the play, firing to the left sideline, and Keegan Darby comes away with that one. His 3rd catch of the day. That was probably released a bit late, but Darby with a nice adjustment there, boxing out the cornerback, making the catch and getting both feet in bounds to extend the Detroit drive. Now back to their 4 tight end formation. J.J. Dunlap in the game. He'll get the call off the right tackle, and he will fight his way ahead for about 6 yards. DeAndre Swift back in the game on 2nd and 4. 2 deep safeties for the Chargers as Harrison heads to the air. Blitz is picked up. Harrison flings it over the middle. Christian Kirk down to the 5-yard line as Harrison now reaches 200 yards on the day. Goal to go Detroit with a chance to retake the lead. Detroit will throw for it. Harrison buys time, and there's Christian Kirk on the slant route for the touchdown. So despite that earlier interception, Bob Harrison has been playing a very strong game here today. Now 16 of 20 for 205 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day after going 5 of 5 for 54 yards and helping the Lions retake the lead. A little less than 4 minutes ago as Justin Herbert stands in the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Play action to Eckler. Herbert is well protected, lets the play develop, fires to the right sideline, and Allen has it, but out of bounds. 3rd and 10. Detroit playing close to the line. They will bring the blitz, and George Towns gets through for the sack. It's a very quick 3 and out for this Detroit defense, as now the Lions will have a chance to make it a 2-score game once again. Good field position for this drive, 2nd and 7 from their own 45, and Jamal Williams barrels ahead for about 5, 3rd and 2. J.J. Dunlap in the game behind Jason Kabinda. Dunlap tries the left side, and he is stuffed at midfield. 4th and 1, and out comes the goal line offense. Jamal Williams in the I formation. He will plow ahead. Met redirects and has the first down to the 47. So the Lions' gamble pays off and the drive will continue. 1st and 10 just inside Charger territory. Play action for Harrison. He's got time and fires over the middle. There's Christian Kirk absorbing the hit at the Charger 30-yard line. 1st and 10 Detroit. Now 2nd and 10 one play later. 3 tight ends on the field. Harrison to throw for this one, and that is nearly intercepted. Great adjustment in coverage there. Looked like Hawkinson was going to break open, but it's 3rd and 10. Harrison back to pass. Chased, fires to the right sideline. That is picked, but out of bounds. As Detroit gets away with one there. Now 4th and 10. And out comes Austin Seibert for a 47-yarder right hash. And it is once again a 7-point game as that kick is good. Both defenses getting some stops here as there's plenty of time left in today's game for both quarterbacks to add to their stat lines here. Herbert 21 of 27 for $190 and 2 touchdowns. He'll head to the air on 2nd and 4 and will find Mike Williams on the slant route to the 44-yard line. As that will take us to the 4th quarter. Lions on top 24-17 over the Los Angeles Chargers. It was mostly Justin Herbert running the show for the Chargers in the 3rd quarter. Here on 2nd and 4, they'll turn to Austin Eckler, and his 14th carry will have first down yardage. One play later, it's 2nd and 4 again. Herbert in the shotgun, and this time he will throw for it, trying the right sideline, and James Bradbury has another pass defensed to force 3rd and 4 at the edge of field goal range. Detroit showing pressure, double A gap look. Blitz is brought, it's picked up, and there goes Eckler breaking a couple of tackles inside the 10, 5, tripped up, and down at the 1. Austin Eckler nearly ties the game as he broke a couple of tackles there before getting tripped up at the 1-yard line by George Towns. Maybe half a yard to go. It's 1st and goal Detroit. Herbert spreads out the formation 5 wide. Back to pass. He'll tuck and run, and he's met in the backfield by Will Harris. The quarterback draw goes backwards. It's 2nd and goal. Does this defense have another goal line stop in them? Handoff Eckler. He redirects his hit, and they're giving him the touchdown. Carmichael can't believe it. We'll take another look at this one as DeAngelo Carmichael blows up Eckler. But Eckler reaches out with the football, and that does indeed break the plane. So a 24-24 game has the Lions searching for more points here, and will they be able to rely on their running game at all? It's been mostly Bob Harrison through the air here today as Jamal Williams is wrapped up in the backfield on 1st and 10, now 2nd and 11. One play later, it's 3rd and 6, 3 wide for Harrison, TJ Hawkinson in the formation. 7.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Hairston back to pass. Under pressure, fires to the right side, and Quintez Cephas doesn't make a play for the ball. It is defended, and the Lions go 3 and out, as now it's the Chargers with momentum here. 7 minutes to go. Tyler Conklin breaking tackles. He will have 11 yards and another Los Angeles first down. There's been plenty of yards after contact for the Chargers here today, as Herbert fires short and Smith makes the catch. It didn't look to me like he had control all the way through that catch, but it's 2nd and 6 as we take an injury time out there. Higgins, the right guard, is shaken up, and we'll see if Devin Woodson can take advantage of that. It's another short throw for Justin Herbert, but those have been very effective against us here today. Los Angeles now inside Detroit territory as Herbert motions in his wide receiver Williams, and he will head to the air. And there's a wide open Conklin inside the 20, 15, down to the 11. And some injury to insult here as Dalton Logan is shaken up. He'll be checked out on the sideline as the Lions search for a stop here. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Give this to Eckler. He's got a lane up the middle and enough power to go through both of our safeties for the go-ahead score. 31-24 Los Angeles. We go back to the offense with 5.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, searching for another scoring drive. Here's a lane for J.J. Dunlap and a gain of about 9. This offense is at its best when we can balance our rushing attack with our passing attack. You can see there we're pretty even in terms of plays called. Harrison escaping on the run, gets hit as he threw. Had Kirk open, but instead it will be 3rd down. 4.5 minutes to go. 4 wide receivers for the Lions. Bosa incoming. Hairston gets it away, and Quan Sandridge can't make that tough catch in traffic. I don't know if any of our wide receivers make that grab, as the Lions will have to punt it away and look to their defense to get a stop. But those have been few and far between this second half. Eckler over 120 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day, as the Lions are desperately searching for some way to blunt the Chargers' momentum. And there's a nice start there on 1st and 10. Chauncey Barker with the stop on the inside draw, and that will lead to a 3rd and 3. Detroit would very much like to make a play here. Herbert, short pass over the middle, and Tracy Walker knocks it out. Incomplete. And with 3 minutes to go, the Lions have another shot at life. 1st and 10. Hairston back to pass. He is off the mark with pressure incoming. 2nd down. Single high safety look for the Chargers. They will bring the blitz. Hairston rolling to his right, extending the play, fires over the middle, and once again he's off the mark for Kirk. The protection has been breaking down here in Los Angeles. 3rd and 10. Hairston unloads the deep ball, hit as he threw, and that is incomplete. Derbyshire thinks he caught it, but he's forgotten the football, as the Lions have to punt again and hope that the 2-minute warning and their 3 timeouts can get them a stop here. There's a big first down for the Chargers, still going ahead into Detroit territory down to the 40-yard line. Herbert over 300 yards on the day, and none of those throws have been particularly big ones. He's just been taking what the defense has been giving him, and that's got the Chargers at the edge of field goal range. And inside the 2-minute warning here, the Lions will have to start burning their timeouts. A first down here ends the game as the Lions crowd the line. Blitz is brought, hit is made in the backfield, but Kelly drags Romeo Okwara across the first down marker to ice the game for the Chargers. Oof. I felt like we definitely could have won that one, but our passing offense goes ice cold at the end of the fourth quarter, and our defense couldn't get a stop when we needed it to. Bob Harrison started the game 17 of 21 for 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and finished the game 0 of 9 through the air. as the Chargers defense stiffened up and Hairston missed a couple of throws. We also struggled to establish our own rushing attack while giving up wads of yardage to Austin Eckler. He broke 6 tackles in today's game and had over half of his 126 yards after first contact. Compare that to DeAndre Swift's 11 carries for 47 yards and Jamal Williams' 5 carries for 17. And it's a tale of 2 different rushing offenses in today's game. As for passing offenses, well, ours didn't do too poorly right up until it mattered the most. Christian Kirk nearly had his first 100-yard game of the season and easily his best outing of the year. TJ Hawkinson chips in with 4 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown, but we don't get a lot of production outside of those 2, and Quintez Cephas is held without a catch. It's not exactly his fault. I don't tend to look to that side of the screen very often when throwing the ball, and on all Madden difficulty, it's difficult for wide receivers to get separation unless they're running certain routes or they have a massive speed advantage. So only having 88 speed definitely hurts someone like Cephas, who's been a reliable contributor for us in the past and might just need to rediscover what he can do on the football field. It was our defense that I think disappointed me most today though. Despite heroic efforts from George Towns and DeAngelo Carmichael, we couldn't get stops when we needed to and we got pushed around in the trenches. Los Angeles was able to run up the middle of our defense without too many issues here today, and 3 games into our season, we're still waiting for the first sacks of the season from Chauncey Barker, Devin Woodson, and Romeo Okwara. Now the Chargers did mitigate our pass rush a bit by going to some shorter plays, but I feel like our pass rushing unit this season is stronger on paper than what we had last year, and I'm a little concerned that we're not seeing similar pressure rates. That means that we've had to blitz in order to create pressure, and one of those blitzes got home here today. But it would be nice to drop 7 back into coverage and still get to the quarterback with some regularity. I'd say we really only played 3 quarters of football against the Chargers. They shut us out in the 4th quarter and scored 14 unanswered points to steal what was a very winnable game from our grasp. A closer look at the numbers indicates that for the 2nd week in a row, the 2nd loss in a row, the Lions are struggling in the areas that we were historically quite good at last season. And I'm talking about our rushing offense, which only produced 111 yards on the ground here today, our turnover differential, which is in the negative once again this week, and finally our work on both sides of the ball on 3rd downs. We're just 1 of 8 on offense, while the Chargers are able to convert 6 of their 12 opportunities. And to top it off, we also lose the time of possession battle as well. So despite all the success we had last season, our margin for error is still pretty slim with this team at this point. I expect there to be growth over the coming season, but it's not going to be easy if we want to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I didn't exactly envision a 1-2 start to begin the season. Obviously, an early losing streak is not the end of the world, and I actually think it's a bit more realistic than compared to last year, given the roster that we've constructed. That being said, this is the first losing streak that many of the players on our team have had in their professional careers. We went 14-3 last season and never lost consecutive games. So I'm really curious to see if this team will be able to bounce back over the coming weeks and showcase the resilience that got us to the Super Bowl last season. We'll need all kinds of players to step up, not just DeAngelo Carmichael, who seems to be blaming himself a little bit too much for our loss today. But there is some good news to come out of this week, and that is that Penei Sewell's abdominal tear won't keep him out for more than 1 game here. This screen cap was taken before I advanced the week to week 4, so we'll only miss our first matchup against Khalil Mack and the Bears. Blake Colt played pretty well in relief against Joey Bosa, and will get the start next week as the only other right tackle on our roster, as we'll try to get back into the win column against the Chicago Bears. The Bears have one of the best middle linebackers in the game in Roquan Smith, who's the player that George Chowns is on record saying that he models his game after. I mentioned Khalil Mack earlier. He's 32 years old, but he's still a very dangerous player and is a superstar X Factor for a reason. We'll see if Blake Culp can slow him down while we try to contain Justin Fields on the other side of the ball. Fields is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, so we'll have to be ready for that element of Chicago's offense. But they also have elevated an exciting playmaker to their slot receiver role, and that is last year's first-round pick, Dave Goodrich. Goodrich is a true deep threat, and he's given the Bears another weapon behind Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet. So that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like always, I will catch you next time. Have a good one, everybody.